hands down, my best ever CEX purchase. No question. Was it? Hi everybody, welcome to the 13th Ghetto Vlogs. Hope everybody is well. I feel like in a celebratory, almost buoyant mood today because I finally got the video edited, finished. It's always a relief. It's always like a celebration, right, of one's hard work. The way that I tend to work is I sort of lock myself away when it comes to editing a video. It seems like such a daunting task when there's nothing done yet because the amount of work that it takes. So what I tend to do is, unless it's family or earning money, I don't want to know. I only have time for those things and edit solid for, you know, between recording and editing, probably 2.5 days. Like I said, unless it's earning money or spending time with the family, I pretty much just concentrate on that. So it's almost like a huge weight off your shoulders once it's finished. It feels like freedom. I can go and crack on with my vlog, I can go and do my gaming, I can go and do all the things that I enjoy doing with what very little spare time I have, and I can enjoy getting a few more hours sleep again each night. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I really enjoy putting the list together. As soon as I had the idea to make that video of doing like the most expensive games, I kind of thought to myself, sometimes it's the simple ideas that are the best ones, right? And I kind of thought to myself, like, I'd want to watch this. So hopefully it's been well received. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. But as you can see, the room is still tidy, right? Not done too bad at all. And as last week, we're going to be kicking off with a couple of parcels that I need to open. Again, I've been letting these sit here, ready for this moment. So I'm looking forward to getting into them. But before that, I have been to one charity shop this week, and I had a half decent find, to be honest. Where is it? There we go. Right, so let's have a look at the charity shop finds. So I went in and asked the woman if there's anything in the back, and she pulled this out. A sealed copy of NBA 2K20, Anthony Davis, and his glorious monobrow. This cost me £1.95, and if I'm not mistaken, is it £5 or £6 trading? There you go. But yeah, it's either £5 or £6 trading, so that was worth picking up. And then on the shelves themselves, sat there, I purchased these 3 games. So first one was Red Steel. Now, I used to have this. I don't know what happened to it. I noticed it was missing when I think it was the CEX games for £1 video, something like that. And I spoke about this game. It's 50p, and I just don't know where it went. Don't know what happened to it. All these Wii games for £1, so this was worth picking up for £1, even though it's 50p at CEX. I should have paid my due diligence though, because the disc is badly scratched. So I'm going to ask the good people at my local CEX if they can run that through the resurfacer for me. And then the next 2 I've bought to take to CEX, really. Guitar Hero World Tour, £3 game, and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. God, I don't know how many of these I'll pick up. I'd probably guess that this is the game that I buy the most each year. I reckon I'll probably buy 10 copies of this game a year. It's just one of them games you see all the time. And if you can get it for £1, £1.50, it's worth picking up because it holds £3 value. And like I say, not every trip to the charity shop is going to be a Wii U bundle, right? You are going to get, this is sort of an average sort of like day where I pick something up. A few games that are worth a few quid. Probably more than double your money in terms of a voucher. And I don't think you can grumble too much if you can leave with, like I say, just over doubling your money in terms of a voucher. Adding the game for your shelf. Decent find to start the week off. I'm going to get the camera set up and we're going to open these parcels that I've been waiting to get opened. Okay, so I'm set up with a couple of parcels. Hopefully there's going to be plenty more to come on this vlog. But these are the first 2 that I've just had sitting around for a couple of days now. This is one that I ordered from eBay, I believe. But since I've realised that you can actually buy this game brand new for pretty much the same price. So I'll probably try and post a link to it in the description if anyone's interested. And that is... First of all, it was in decent-ish condition. Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron. So this is a 2019 game developed by Handy Games. It's basically a vertical scrolling shmup. And to my knowledge, this is sort of set in like a mythical event that could have followed World War II. As clearly I've not played it yet, but my understanding is that this is like a battle if West Germany invaded America after World War II. I might be wrong, but that's sort of the vibe that I get from it. I've seen the cover plenty of times before, but I always assumed it was more like a flight simulator style game or an aerial combat game, as opposed to what is, as I say, a vertical shmup. But then I saw some footage of this, and whilst it's quite a simplistic art style, it's one that really caught my eye. I really like what they've done with the sort of mythical enemies. So basically, as I say, you're looking at that sort of 1930s West Germany, but then like they've expanded upon that, similar to what they did with the Wolfenstein games. I think they've sort of gone over the top, so it's like quite an exaggerated version of that kind of World War II era. And yeah, it just looks really good, and it's very, very cheap. I bought this for £10. I think it was delivered for like £12. But as I say, you can buy this brand new for £12, £13. Had I known that, I probably would have done it, but it's in decent-ish condition. I can't really moan. Very, very slightly, that's what I mean, you wouldn't even see it on camera. It's just very slightly nicked at the top of the cover itself. But yeah, very cheap game, and it comes with all the DLC as well. So yeah, can't complain at that. But one of the reasons that I really wanted to talk to you about this is where I first heard of it and what basically prompted me to spend the money and buy it. So I was looking on YouTube one day at Nintendo Switch Shmups, and I came across this channel, and I don't think I've smiled so much throughout a video I was watching for a long time. I've written down the name of the guy here. It's Kenny RH, Kenny R.H, I believe. And I'll put some footage up of this guy now, and do you know what? It was wholesome, I think is the right word, to see a man of his years, right? He's clearly an older gentleman, and to see him have so much passion for not only collecting, not only gaming, but something quite a unique you know, arm of gaming, which is shmups. And to see his passion and his knowledge of that area was just fantastic. And I was watching it thinking, wow, as I say, clearly a man that's getting on in years, but to see his passion and his sort of exuberance for it, yeah, I loved every minute of that video. And I thought to myself, I'm going to shout this guy out. Now, I don't know this guy, I've had no communication with him except for basically dropping in his comment section and telling him that I enjoyed the video. But what I was hoping was that we could all take a look, right? I'm blessed that a lot of people watch these videos, of which I'm very grateful. If some of you guys could take a look at this gentleman's channel and maybe drop him a sub, I just think what a nice thing that would be to do. And don't get me wrong, this is not a sympathy sub, right? This guy's content is very good. I really enjoyed the video. He's very knowledgeable. So yeah, I'm going to put a link in the description to Kenny R.H's channel. And I just thought to myself, what a nice thing it would be is if this guy wakes up tomorrow on a Monday morning or the day after, whatever it is you're watching this, and he wakes up and he's had like an influx of subscribers. I just think what a great thing to do to hopefully make this man's day, because he genuinely made my day. It was so great watching it. It's very wholesome content. And I think his tagline on his video was something like, I'm an incurable collectaholic. And it was like looking into the future. This guy collects books, Blu-rays, steelbooks, as well as having a very strong passion for gaming as well, from what I've seen in the background. I haven't watched too many of his videos, but I'm definitely going to go through and have a look. And I am, of course, subscribed now, so I'll be seeing all his future content. But yeah, if you guys could take a look at his channel, I just think that would be a great thing for us all to do. And this next one is a CEX purchase, so it's a little bit of a CEX lottery right here. I actually purchased this game a while ago. I thought it was going to come on last week's vlog, but it came shortly after I finished filming for last week's vlog. And somebody in my last video, or the video before, actually advised that I purchased this, and I commented saying, oh, great minds think alike, because I'd already bought it. Hopefully this is complete. It's not an overly expensive game, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I was putting out a video games to invest in video, I would recommend this one, right? I think this game will go up in value. I think it's cheap for what it is. But that is Gunbird Special Edition on the PlayStation 2. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I bought this. Firstly, it's a shmup. I'm clearly on a bit of a shmup kick at the minute. Also, as you guys will know if you've been watching my videos, I've just sold my Dreamcast collection, of which one of the highlights of my collection, one of the games that I actually spent quite a bit of time playing, was Gunbird 2. Well, this special edition contains both the Gunbird games that, to my knowledge, I think it's Gunbird and Gunbird 2. So yeah, you'll be seeing this footage on the screen now. It's a really nice game, a nice shooter. I don't know how it plays on the PlayStation 2, but I think £12 for any shmup, let alone a collection like this, I think is an absolute bargain. Oh, you know what? I thought it felt light. I was sitting here. That's why I wasn't talking very quickly, because in my mind I was thinking, whilst I was talking to you, right, I'm going to, full transparency, the manual's there. Whilst I was talking to you, my mind was thinking, I'm going to have to take this back to CEX, I'm going to have to order another one. I've just told everyone to buy it because I think it's going to go up in value, I'm going to have to be quick. This is always going around in my mind, right? The life of a collector. But thankfully, it's complete, it's all there. Let's check the disc. This looks decent. So yeah, happy with that. I'm going to be testing this out very shortly, so probably on this vlog I'll give you my opinions on how this plays. And obviously on my PlayStation 2 I can play it on my Bang & Olufsen TV with the soundtrack booming out. So yeah, very happy to have that, and I'm very happy that it's coming complete. Complete, should I say. From memory, there was like 5 or 6 of these in stock, not loads in stock. And yeah, I just think it's one that is going to go up in value. So if you're interested in Gunbird, I'd definitely pick this one up sooner rather than later. So that's it. That's all I've got to kick this vlog off. As I say, we've had one charity shop visit, we've had a couple of parcels, but hopefully there's much more to come in terms of orders. I am going to be looking to spend some more CEX vouchers, so we should have another CEX lottery coming. Obviously, on this vlog, I'm going to be doing my standard weekly trip to CEX, and there is something that I think might be in stock. So yeah, we'll be doing that very shortly. Also, in 2 weeks since I've had a dedicated charity shop hunt, right? We had my illness, actually, scrap that, might be 3 weeks. I was ill 1 week, then I had a week where it was snowing, and I did go out, but it wasn't great, so, you know, kind of called it a day. And then last week, little man was ill. So I'm well overdue a full day of going out, charity shop hunting, and see what we can find. So there's a few sort of trails in mind, a few different avenues, a few different routes, a few different towns that I want to hit up. So I'll be making a decision, and we'll be definitely be doing some designated charity shop hunting on this vlog. And yeah, but tonight, now my video's done, everything's good. Little man's feeling much better, by the way. Shout out to everyone that asked, appreciate it. He's much better now, which means we're all getting more sleep now. My room's clean, my video's done. I think tonight's the night that I start Metroid Prime, right? I've been waiting to do it. I want to get that beat before the new Zelda game comes out. So yeah, let's do it.
Thanks everybody for getting me back on the outro.
That's right, good boy. Okay, so I decided to just jump straight into Gunbird. As I say, it was the option of Gunbird 1 or Gunbird 2. Not very good one-handed. But I've gone with Gunbird 1 because I played through Gunbird 2 on my Dreamcast. And yeah, it's not really coming through on TV because, you know, these old CRT TVs don't come across very well on camera. But yeah, it looks really nice. And like I say, I think for £12 to have both games, it's an absolute bargain. Feet up, check. Red mood lighting, check. Metroid Prime, check.
Okay, it's a new day, and you guys know the drill. We're here to do the CEX and charity shop run of my locals. I've actually had a decent find on the way up here. I haven't recorded because my battery is very low. So if you don't see from me again, either I didn't find anything, or I found something amazing, but the battery went. But hopefully we'll be okay. We're on about 24%. But yeah, on the way down here, I grabbed a couple of bits from the charity shop. Now, first one was this. It was a Captain America Steelbook Blu-ray. The Blu-rays in there are £1, so I wasn't going to let this sit there. This sells for about £10 or so on eBay. I don't think my local CEX will take it because they only take ones that have the original outer sleeve, so it has the barcode on it, whereas these ones don't. I think that differs with different CEXs to my knowledge, but I mean, I wasn't going to let it sit there for £1. And then a decent find. I found this a few times now. I found this, I think I found it last year. I think this is the third one that I found, and that is Star Wars The Complete Saga. This was actually individually priced. This local shop to me has started individually pricing media, which sadly is the sign of the times. They used to have like a flat rate, but it seems to be more sort of box sets and stuff that they are individually pricing. They had this for £5, but CEX are giving £10 on this, so it's well worth picking up and doubling my money. So this is going to go into my trusty CEX bag, which is full of stuff to trade in. So yeah, we're going to head there now, and as I say, I'll keep you guys updated should we find anything else on the way.
Not much in this first charity shop, but always keep an eye on the Sims games. I think it's Sims Apartment. You get a half decent trade in, especially in a shop where everything's £1. But yeah, always check out, because there's so many Sims games on the PC. If you do see a collection like this, it's always worth checking it. But on this occasion, I don't think there's anything there worth picking up.
I was one of these boys. I was a Sega boy. I love Sega.
Okay, so the CEX run was very successful. Got a bigger voucher note than I originally expected, actually. So yeah, that's nice. I didn't pick anything up, but I'm going to be placing an order via the app for something I've been looking at for quite some time. So hopefully that will arrive this week and on this vlog. The footage that you've just seen is not of a charity shop, but like a pre-loved shop. So sort of like a privately owned charity shop, if you like. People that probably go out and hunt. It's very difficult you're going to find a bargain in them, because obviously these people are doing it for a living, are professional resellers as such with a brick and mortar store. So you'd imagine the first thing that they would do with media is scan it on the CEX app. And as you saw by the price of some of those bottom of the barrel Mega Drive games, you're not going to get a bargain in there, but it's always worth checking those kind of shops just in case it's something that you want to buy for what it's worth to add to your collection. But nothing for me. Right, there's a couple more charity shops I'm going to check out, and then we're going to head back to the Retro Ghetto. I've got an evening of gaming planned, and I'm going to finalise where we're going tomorrow, because yeah, we're going to have a big day out tomorrow. Go charity shop hunting. It's been a long time since I've had a designated charity shop hunt day, so I'm excited about it. So guys, tell me, what's your favourite pizza and why is it Papa John's? Okay, so we're back in the 3.0, full of pizza. And before I commence my night of gaming, which I'm really looking forward to, I'm about 3 or 4 hours into Metroid Prime now, so I'm going to really try and make a dent in it tonight. But before I get into that, I want to share with you my plans for tomorrow's game hunt. So I sat down earlier with my phone and I was looking at sort of the best places to go, and I had a couple of routes in mind that I wanted to do, but for whatever reason I haven't done. And once again, I won't be doing them. And the reason being is, there's a game that I really want, and the only thing that stopped me from ordering it via the CEX app is that it comes as a collector's edition. I think it came as a collector's edition standard, like a big box. But it's one of them where it's a risk, if I order it through the CEX app, that it might come as just the game, or a damaged box or something like that. Now, they have a copy of this game in stock at Nottingham City Centre. And Nottingham's not too far from me. It's a nice city centre, and there's obviously loads of other shops and clothes and food and other things that I can do to enjoy my day. Plus there's 2 CEXs, but it wasn't sort of itching my charity shop scratching my charity shop itch. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. It wasn't scratching my charity shop itch. So what I did was look what's close by, and there's a CEX that's always intrigued me, and that is Bulwell. So I've been to Bulwell years ago. It's a little town just like on the outskirts of Nottingham, and it's one of the places that I think will have a lot of charity shops, and there's a CEX there. And the reason it intrigues me is often I frequent the CEX app, as you guys know, and very often when I'm looking at retro and I'm looking at what shops they're in, I always see Bulwell. It comes up over and over again. For what is a small town, I always see Bulwell. So I figured, can't go too far wrong, right? If I go to a town that's got charity shops and a CEX, Then we go to a city centre that's got 2 CEXs, both of which are very big, sizable. Plus all the other shops, Forbidden Planet and everything else you get in a big city. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that's a good plan. I've also got a very warm lead because I've got a game in stock that I want at the Nottingham CEX that hopefully is the complete big box edition. Hopefully it doesn't sell by then. So yeah, I'm enthused by my plan. I'm looking forward to it, and obviously we'll be setting off in the morning for what hopefully will be a successful day's game hunt. We'll spend some of the vouchers that we earned today. Yeah man, I'm excited. But until then, I'm going to have a night gaming. Let's do it. So we're going to put a little bit of that in my tea. And if I wasn't full already, Mrs. RG's made some pistachio cheesecake. It's a good life. Oh, come on! It's impossible! What am I doing? If you sat there wondering why I'm playing the computer like your nan does at Christmas. Is anyone else playing Metroid Prime? I'm about to quit. I'm about to rage quit. There's a bit where you have to get this ball up this half pipe, right? And I've just unlocked this boost. And you have to kind of Tony Hawk it up this thing. I mean, obviously I'm not doing a very good job with one hand. But I swear it's impossible. I'm about to give up on this game. I'm actually not doing too bad with one hand. Go on. Maybe this is the technique. Go on, lad! Ah! Nah, flopped it. Honestly, can't keep doing this. I've been trying this for about an hour. I've even asked Google. It's not helped me. I might be done with this game. I've done it. I did it the next go. And it's so easy. But there's no indication as to what technique you're supposed to use. And I came so close with the wrong technique. So many times that it gave me hope. It's 20 to 10. And I've just done something notable since I've loaded this game up. It's the thing about these kind of like Metroidvania games. The backtracking and the trial and error. Unless you use a guide or you've got half a brain. It can be disheartening when you're 2-3 hours into a playthrough and you've achieved 5 minutes work if you knew what you were doing. I need the next hour to go smoothly or I might be falling out with this game. I mean, I thought that was the end of my troubles. It turns out they were just beginning. So I've got up on this ledge. So I'm up on this ledge, right? We've just spent half an hour rolling the ball around to get up here. You're kidding me. I basically was trying to film to show you guys that I got up there and I couldn't see anything to do and I don't dare risk anything. And showing you by one hand I fell off. If I don't get up there in that ball in 2 attempts, I'm turning it off. I think I'm over it, guys. I'm done. I'm back. So I went in, had a word with myself, watched a YouTube video, read some Reddit forums. Everyone's giving different advice on how you get the momentum for this half pipe, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm not even far into the game. You guys have seen me beat Cuphead. Anyway, I've done it. And basically, while I was struggling, and hopefully someone in the comments has played this or had the same issue. So let's say you're going up and down a half pipe, right? And you're trying to get the ball from one side to the other. And you have a boost. Now logic would dictate you would let go of the boost as you're sort of hitting the incline, right? Get the maximum trajectory. Well, I read a forum which basically said you have to forget physics. Physics go out the window. You have to do it the way the game wants you to do it, and the game wants you to do it when it's at the very bottom of the flat piece of the half pipe. So basically dead on in the middle. Which, again, in terms of physics makes no sense, right? Which is why I didn't even contemplate doing it that way. But yeah, that's how you have to do it. So the first time I fluked it, and then I fell off the ledge trying to show you guys I didn't know where I was going. And then I managed to learn how to do it properly. But I blame the game, not me. Do you know what I mean? I was using logic, right? I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Either way, it's done. It's 20 past 10. And I've achieved what I could have achieved in 5 minutes. And that's what I'm saying about this game, like these kind of games. I enjoy the game. It's rewarding when it's going well. But like I say, unless you like just follow a guide, you can get nowhere quickly, you know? Yeah, hard to take that that's my night's gaming. I'm going to give it a bit more time, try and get somewhere, but gaming can be humbling. I feel very humbled right now. In a bit. Good morning, everybody. First things first, what a beautiful day. A little bit grey over there, but the forecast looks good, and that's all I need to hear to get even more excited about today's game hunt. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think I can go wrong. Like I said, I've got a warm lead at CEX, 3 CEXs in total, hopefully some charity shops, a city centre full of God knows what. Yeah, I'm really excited about today's hunt. But about last night, I did a little rage quit, didn't I? Threw my toys out the pram, and then I came back and went back to it, and I don't know, I'm still on the fence about Metroid Prime. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, it's a great remaster. I was sort of thinking about it this morning when I was eating my breakfast, and I think I love Metroidvanias. You know, I've played through a lot that I've really enjoyed, games like Ori, Axiom Verge, Super Metroid. I think I'm more of a fan of the 2D. I think I'm more of a fan of like the 2D plane Metroidvanias as opposed to 3D. Time's precious as you get older, right? You know, none of us have got as much free time as we like, and when you sit down to have an evening of gaming and you spend 4 hours and do what you could probably do in 20 minutes, it's a bit like, how much time am I going to have to put into this game? Equally, I don't want to have to go through a guide, because that's not fun to me, to just watch a playthrough on YouTube and copy it, or read about what I should be doing and copy that. That's no fun to me. The joy of these games is the exploration, but to what extent? How many hours am I going to have to put in? Of trial and error to get to the next stage of the game, and I don't know, it's something I'm going to have to think on. I'm going to play a bit more and see where I get in the next few hours and then make a decision, because it generally is a very good game, and Nintendo have done a great job with the remaster, and I would like to finish it. But anyway, that's something we'll get to. Next time you see me, we'll probably be in Bulwell. That's the first stop. I think I'll probably do the charity shops first, then we'll go to the CEX, then Nottingham City Centre, and yeah, wish me luck. Let's go. Okay, just getting the essentials packed for the game hunt. Tea, check. Dinner, last night's pizza, check. Snack, shortbread biscuit, check. Bottle of water, check. Phone charger for the car, check. Game hunting can be an expensive business. Doing this keeps the costs down, right? I'm not paying £5 for no Starbucks coffee. Let's go. Okay, so I've made it to Bulwell, and it's bringing back memories, man. I used to come here quite a bit, way back. We're talking like 10, 15 years ago. But already I'm seeing shops I want to go in. I've got Cash Monkey, CEX is just up there. There's a lot of charity shops. These are places that you want to come and hunt, really. In these areas where there's a lot of sort of, you know, cash generators, pawn shops, that kind of thing. So hopefully we're going to find something. I think we're going to go Cash Monkey first. Let's have a look. So that is £5 cheaper than CEX. I don't know much about PS5 prices, but £10 PS5 games already? First charity shop of the day. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so not much on the shelves in terms of games, but she's gone to have a look in the back for me. So, fingers crossed. Great movie. Great movie. So the first one I found that has a little bit of profit in it is that. I'm not buying that to make £2. I'm sorry. They can stay here for someone that will appreciate it. Okay, so that was the second shop that didn't have a single game on show. Well, there wasn't. PC, CD-ROM. So not a great sign, to be honest. There was also a chap in there that had a carrier bag that was looking through the media, so, you know,
that would point to maybe being regulars around here hunting, but there's a few more like pawn shop style places, including this one. I'll look in, and then we'll head to CEX before going into Nottingham. Hopefully we'll find something. Still no games. Oh. What's this? Okay, the last chance of rescuing the Bulwell trip. CEX. Looks a decent little CEX, to be fair. Pretty stacked. Loads of stuff in the window. I don't own that game. Sylvester and Tweety. Right, let's go and take a look. So this is why you always ask at CEX stores if there's anything in, because look at this, all in the back. So this is the good stuff. Always ask if there's any more retro in store. It's a great store as well, this Bulwell. I'm not going to put you on camera, it's alright. We'll sort of get your ring light and they're like... But you got some nice games in stock, that's what I wanted to check. Okay, so that worked out well, but potentially very well. Let's get back to the car. I'm a bit excited, but you know, you need to curb your excitement. Let's get back to the car. I'm going to pour myself a tea and I'll explain what's going on. Okay, so back at the car, cup of tea in hand, and right, okay, before I get too excited and tell you about what's potentially happening, let's talk about what's actually happened. So the charity shops were a bust. There's clearly hunters in this area. There was nothing but, you know, stuff that's been picked through. You know, FIFA's the usual. You guys saw some of it. I won't put all the footage up because it's boring. As I said, I think earlier this morning or last night, I anticipated the Bulwell CEX being a good one because I see their name a lot against sort of higher end games that I'm looking at. So I did think it would be a good one, and it was. It was really good. Pound for pound, definitely one of the best CEXs I've been to. Only small, but you can tell that either the owner, manager has a passion for video games, or there's quite a few collectors in the area, which again would lead to why the charity shops are empty, that sort of trade there or order multiples of games and take some in, because they did have a lot of heavy hitters. You saw games like Magna Carta 2 on the Xbox 360, which is becoming quite rare. I almost bought it, but I didn't want to buy it purely for an investment. It's a turn-based RPG, and I'm not a turn-based kind of guy, so I didn't want to spend £25 on it, but it's a very good buy at £25, and again, probably another one for a future video games to invest in. As you saw, there was a box pulled out, but we'll get to all that. First game that I bought was one on the shelves. It's a game I've been intrigued by for quite some time, and I'm really glad to find it complete, and that is Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I mean, that could be the most badass name for a video game of all time, right? Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I mean, the name alone. Having the name on the spine is worth it, right? But from what I understand, this is Mortal Kombat, but like a beat 'em up. So you're sort of walking down, I was going to say a street, but, you know, mythical areas, should we say. Yeah, that's where I interpret it. You'll be seeing gameplay now over the screen, which will be doing a better job of explaining what this game is than I can. But yeah, my interpretation is it's not your standard one-on-one fighter. I think this plays more like a beat 'em up than, yeah, in the Mortal Kombat universe, and definitely a must-own, I think, for the PlayStation 2. And once again, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Right, okay, so then things got interesting. This is why you always ask what's in the back. So I started talking to the guy, he recognised me and said, oh, I've seen you before, and I sort of said, yeah. And I asked him if there's anything in the back, and he pulled out this box. And you've seen some of the box, and there's some like real like oddities in there. Quite a few things that are marked as unboxed that were boxed because the boxes were in really bad condition. Quite a few loose ends and bits and bobs, and yeah, you can definitely find some gold in them kind of boxes. If you're not a mint collector, they're not going to have mint video games there. The chances are they'll be in the window or whatever. But this was there, and as soon as I saw this, I thought, you know, I had to have it, right? Okay, so it's a Super Nintendo game, and you guys know, if you watch the channel, my mantra is, if you're buying a Super Nintendo game you don't already own, box complete, for £10 or less, you buy it, no questions asked. Well, this kind of falls into that category. I own it, but I don't own it. Anyway, I'll show you. That is Super Mario All-Stars. Now, I do own this, yes, but I don't own the Nintendo Classics version, and I am that much of a collector when it comes to Super Nintendo. This was unboxed. It's complete. So it's got the manual, and it's got what is one of the greatest cartridges of all time. Bit sun-fading. It was £10. £10 for a complete Mario All-Stars. And like I said, I don't own the Nintendo Classics, and yes, it's not in great condition, of course it's not. But it's not that bad, it's all there, the tabs are there. I've seen much worse. Sticker cover on this, if I can get these stickers off, there's a little bit of damage there, look. But again, £10, right? We're not expecting mint, are we? I was not going to leave this behind for £10. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing if I can clean this up. I think that'll be interesting to see if I can get these stickers off and see what I can do with this. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'll start a subset of Nintendo Classics, I don't know. But £10, guys. Right, quick sip of tea. So, from the good to the potentially wonderful. So, as you've seen in the footage, they had a copy of Maximum Carnage on Super Nintendo, which is a very expensive game. Very expensive, £140. And the condition was horrible. The box is not very good at all. It's got tabs missing, there's no manual, it's very beat up. Passable for me, with a box protector and everything on it, but £140, no chance, right? It's ridiculous. So I spoke to him about it. I said, oh, it's a shame that, you know, it's not got a manual or whatever, you're never going to sell it. He said, I know. It's been sold out multiple times via e-commerce, and of course every time it gets sent back, and it's no longer being sold online. So you can no longer buy that game online because it went out and come back too many times. They've taken it off online. So basically said to him, look, it's a shame that you guys are under the CEX umbrella, because if this was like a privately run store, I'd make you a cash offer on it. And he said, oh yeah, I know mate, nothing we can do. And then I had the idea of, well, why don't you sell it me unboxed? I'm standing there with this box in front of me of all these beat up games that are listed as unboxed. I said, mate, that is worse than some of these. There's no manual. You're never going to sell it for £140. Never in a million years is that game going to sell. No one's paying £140 for a game that beat up with no manual. Not going to happen. He said, yeah, but there's a big difference between that. And I goes, well, it's not going to sell. And he looked it up, and the unboxed price is £45. And I said, come on, mate. And I could see he was coming round to it, and I thought, I'm going to get this for £45, right? This like very sought after Super Nintendo game, which obviously I'd have to source a manual for, but irrespective, at that price. And he said, look, I can't make that decision because it came from another store, because it would have been sent out at some point from e-commerce from another store and come back. It's kind of on the system. He explained it to me, but I think you guys understand it. It's on the system basically as £140 at their store, so it owes them that much money. I said, well, you're the manager, aren't you? But basically what he said was he's got to seek permission because of the value, he can't just do it himself. So he said, look, I'll happily sell it to you, but I've got to send an email. But he was a very legitimate guy, asked me all my information, added me on Instagram, subscribed to the channel, and sent me a message already on Instagram, so it's there. He said, look, I'm going to send the email straight away, it should take a couple of hours, are you going to be around? I said, look, I'm going to Nottingham, so I'm going to be in the NG postcode for a few hours. Should be a maximum of about 2 hours, they'll get back to me. He even sent me a message so that I'm top of the inbox. He put it behind the counter out the way and said, look, I won't put it on show. As soon as they get back to me, I'll let you know. So, fingers crossed, whilst we're on this hunt in Nottingham, I'm going to get a message, fingers crossed, saying that I can have a boxed copy of Maximum Carnage on the Super Nintendo for £45. It's one of them where I'll be delighted with that. That's like an unbelievable deal. Equally, I think it's the right thing for them as well, because that game's never going to sell. It's never ever going to sell for £140 ever. Not in 10 years. So, yeah, I don't want to get too excited because it might not happen. But right now, I'm living on potential. I was very happy with my £10 Mario All Stars. Now I'm thinking, ooh. Anyway, we need to park that. I'm going to finish my tea, eat a biscuit. We're going to go to Nottingham. There's 2 more CEXs there. I'll film any other weird and wonderful stuff. I'm not going to film clothing and training shops and everything like that too much. But yeah, it's difficult for me to think about anything else now other than maximum carnage. But let's go to Nottingham. Don't drop my phone. Okay, so I've made it to the very loud Victoria Centre Market in Nottingham. I thought I'd know Nottingham, I don't need to use Google Maps. 3 laps of the city centre, a one-way system later. We're parked, we're here. I'm heading straight to CEX. This is where I've got that warm lead. There's a game in here that I've been wanting for quite some time. But as I say, it should come as a big box edition, and I don't want to buy it as the standard one. So if it's big box, we're definitely going to be picking that up. I don't want to be in the Victoria Centre too long, because you never get signal in these shopping centres. And I'm still waiting for that message to come through from the Bulwell CEX. So yeah, I need to get out of my mind. Let's go to CEX and see what they've got. Okay, so here's the window. Here's the game I'm after going to be in the window. I can't see it, which... Right, the game I want's not in the window, which I think is a bad sign. Because as I say, if it was a big box, it's probably got more chance of being in the window. So yeah, slightly concerned by that. I have just seen this though. I remember advising you guys to buy this, but it was like £35. Really good game, Lonely Mountains Downhill. Highly recommend that. Some decent retro bits, but I've still not seen my game. So right, it's on the Nintendo Switch. Let's go and check the Switch section. I hope it's not here. Yep, this is it. This is the one. But I don't want this edition. I'm not paying £52 for this when it should come in a big box. Disappointing. This was my warm lead. But yeah, is what it is. Wow. £65 for R-Type Final 2. Someone's like traded these in. Shoot 'em up, fan. Okay, so this is a strange one. I took it to the counter. I thought I'd ask just to see by any chance if the big box was behind there. And the guy said to me, when they get big box stuff in, unless it specifies on the system to keep it, they usually throw it away. Imagine them just throwing it all away. They don't help themselves sometimes, do they? Okay, so disappointing they didn't have the game that I wanted, but sorry, I did manage to pick something else up. Obviously I'll show you guys when we get back. There's another CEX on the other side of Nottingham City Centre, so I'm going to head there now. I'll just come outside to see if I've got any signal. Still no message on Maximum Carnage, but yeah, we're going to go and fly to the CEX now. This game's more like a Toys R Us. It's more stuff than games. Man can't even buy an Arsenal shirt.
All these fair weather fans buying shirts now at top of the league. Sold out, you know. Plenty of Man United shirts here. If games are in a glass cabinet in charity shops, you know they're going to be priced accordingly. Okay, so I don't often go in city centre charity shops because, as you saw, everything's priced accordingly. But I did very well on 3 CDs. Very well. Not sure if you can hear me. Yeah, I did very well on CDs. So I'll show you when we get back to the car. It's very loud out here. So there's a well-known apparel shop. Oh gosh, it's closing down. 70% off. So, I might have timed this right. What a trip this has been. So, I got a bag full of stuff at Wellgosh. As I say, it's a really nice clothing shop. I go there quite often. I go to the one in Leicester. 70% off. Sadly, it's closing down tomorrow. Sign of the times. Obviously, a lot of the good stuff has gone. It wasn't full of Air Max 1s or anything like that, but I got some nice stuff. And more importantly, I've got my message. We're headed back to Bulwell CEX for what is undoubtedly the best CEX find I've ever had. Let me repeat, the best CEX find I have ever had. So we're going to be heading there after this next CEX stop. But yeah, I'm going to be rushing now. Yeah, last CEX, back to the car, back to Bulwell to get the bargain of all bargains. What a day! You know what, I'm done. I've had a quick scan. I'm not going to queue up and ask if there's anything behind the counter. I need to get back to Bulwell before my man changes his mind. Right, let's fly. We're going to run. Tell him, mate. Brisk walk, brisk walk. I drove assertively to get here. I've got my brisk walk on, and I'm here now. Sometimes you've got to secure the bag, right? The longer you leave it, the more chance there is of something can happen. So I always say about deals, when I find like a deal, I get on it immediately, just before anything can go wrong. And when it's one of these too good to be true deals, don't hang about. We have secured the bag. Let's get back to the ghetto. Speak about what has been a crazy day. I told you guys I felt good about this day, right? Hands down, my best ever CEX purchase. No question. Buzzing.
Well, you know about retro ghetto, collecting and playing retro, Street Fighter on the Nintendo. I'm a veteran.
Okay, so I'm back in the 3.0. Still got a big smile on my face. I can't wait to show you guys everything that I picked up on what has been one of my favourite game hunting days ever. But before I do that, we're going to see how good we can get this box looking. I think this was an absolute bargain. I've inspected it a little bit more. Everything's there. The manual's there, all the flaps are there. I think if I can get these stickers off, jazz it up a bit, get it in the box protector, I think we'll get this looking okay. So yeah, we're going to set about this now. I'm going to show you guys very shortly the end result, and then we're going to sit down and talk about today. Okay, so I managed to get the stickers off, and I'm very happy with that. That little bit you see in there is probably the only tiny bit that came off with the sticker. There wasn't much I could do about that. Yeah, I managed to get the stickers off in one. There's no sort of like, you know, ripping, tearing, and then having to go at it again. Really happy with that. The stickers were difficult to get off. I knew they would be. I think this has been sat in that box for a long time, simply because you could just tell the stickers themselves had loads of scratches and nicks on them where they'd been in that box and moved around for God knows how long. So yeah, it was very... I was never going to be able to just whip the stickers off like you can with a more sort of modern release. But I was able to get it off using a hairdryer. I really took my time. I used the heat, let the glue sort of heat up, the glue that's probably been sat there for a long time. heated it up with the hairdryer and just slowly peeled it back, managed to get them off. All I'm going to do now is give this a quick once over with a little bit of Mr. Sheen, clean it up, wipe it up, get it in a box protector. Okay, now my copy of Mario All-Stars is all cleaned up. It is time to look at everything that we picked up and reflect on what was one of my favourite game hunts probably ever. Yeah, some of these finds are going to live long in the memory. And I think I already said it earlier, but I've calmed down a bit now, right? I've been home a little while, I've had a cup of tea, I've got my comfies on. But I did have a great feeling about today. I don't know why, I can't explain it, but it turned out to be true anyway. So we're going to go through these, and I've got them in sort of the chronological order of which I've picked them up, so I can sort of discuss the day as I go through. I'm not going to spend much time with these first two because you've already seen me talk about them. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, which, as I said before, it's just a game that I've been intrigued by for some time, and this is going to be getting put in my PlayStation 2 very soon, because I'm just really intrigued to see how it plays. And again, I don't need to spend too much time talking about this one, you've just seen me clean it up. The only thing that I would say is, I think this game would have sold as a boxed copy. It's not a particularly expensive game because it's there's so many Mario All-Stars games knocking about. For me, it's one of the greatest compilations ever made. Probably only second to the one that comes with Super Mario World as well. But yeah, and I think I'm probably right in saying that the red Nintendo Classics version is probably more sought after. I'm guessing, but I'm assuming so, just based on the fact that you don't see these ones as often as the standard yellow box one, which of course I already own. So yeah, very happy to add this. And with it having the red box and a little bit of red and black, it's not perfect, you know, by any means. But I definitely think they could have sold a copy of this as boxed, and very happy to have got the stickers off without there being too much damage lurking underneath. And I mean, £10. You're just not going to get Super Nintendo Mario games boxed complete for £10 in 2023. It just don't happen. So that and already would have normally set me up for the day, right? That would have been the find of the day, normally, but not today. So next up, we went to Nottingham City Centre, and as I said to you guys earlier, I went there specifically for one game. I went there for the Sikio's Shooting Stars collection. There's two that releases, A and there's B. And as I've already said, it should come as a big box version. And I want the big box version. So I'm going to put a quick appeal out. I'll be putting on screen now where these what branches of CEX stock these games. If anybody's local or anybody is aware of one of these being in stock as the bigger box version, and it's in decent condition, please let me know, and I'll figure out a way to try and get it from that store. But yeah, it'd be much appreciated if you could help me out with that one. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do CEX lotteries and kind of hope for the best, right? But whilst I was in that CEX, I did pick up a game. I picked up a Nintendo Switch game, and that was Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. Now, you guys know my favourite oxymoron is modern retro. I love anything that's retro inspired but with a modern aesthetic, and this game is exactly that. I remember borrowing a Master System from my next door neighbour as a child and having Alex Kidd built in, and I don't think I've played much Alex Kidd since. So yeah, Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. This is a cheap game anyway, you can pick this up cheap on Amazon. But I decided to pick it up because obviously, one, I had vouchers, but two, surprisingly for CEX, it's still got the manual and it's still got the keyring that comes with it. Keyring is still in the packet. I mean, not that I'm going to put it on my keys, but it's nice that it's, you know, fully complete. And yeah, it's definitely one I'll get to. And a nice little touch that you have also got the, I think it's probably a reversible cover, right? The old school Master System art in there. And even the game itself, the little cartridge, has got like the same pattern that's on the Master System cartridges. So yeah, nice touches like that. You know, collectors like myself, we love little things like that. And I think more game developers should do things like that. So yeah, shout out to Merge for that one. But definitely looking forward to getting to this when the time comes. And then you guys will see I went to the shop called Wellgosh, which is sadly closing down. You know, unless Mike Ashley owns it, there's not going to be any shops left on the high street soon. Picked up some really nice clothes, 70% off. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? So I was very happy with that. Obviously, I'm not going to show you that. I'm not going to... We're not going to do a fashion walk. I'm not going to get changed to show you what I bought. It's not that kind of channel. But let's just say I was very happy with my purchases. But the reason I mention it is because next door there was a charity shop. I don't ever expect to find anything in city centre charity shops. There's such a high footfall, and often they are shops. And this one was the same. It sold nicer end stuff, but it also has the appropriate price tag. But I was very surprised to see a bargain basket of CDs that said 3 for £1, because they did have some CDs in there individually priced. So
was very surprised that these somehow slipped through the net, because I'm pretty sure that some of these have some value. First one that I found, which was why I wanted to find another two, which I did, was this one. I owned this once upon a time, don't know what happened to it. I need to switch the case out. But that's Boyz II Men Legacy. I mean, stone cold classics on here. And then ASAP Rocky, or Mr. Rihanna, which I'm sure he doesn't want to be known as. But really, I don't know much about ASAP Rocky, but I do love the track F in Problems. Yeah, big tune, featuring Drake, 2 Chainz, Kendrick Lamar. A lot of features on here. I'm sure it'll be a decent album when I get around to it. Next up was Drake's Nothing Was the Same. I'm not the biggest Drake fan in the world, but I can't deny this album. This is, in my opinion, the best Drake album. It's one of them albums you can just let play. All 13 tracks on here are absolute bangers. I listened to this on the way home. I had my amazing finds on the seat next to me. I was eating my pizza, listening to this album, and yeah, the sun was shining, and yeah, life's good, right? Sometimes you have to take the victories, and I was enjoying this on the way home. And that takes me nicely onto what is one of my favourite finds of all time, and hands down the best ever CEX find that not only I've ever had, but I don't know if I've ever heard of a better CEX find than this. I'm absolutely delighted with it, and that is, of course, Maximum Carnage on the Super Nintendo. This is a game I never thought I would own. As I say, it's a £140 game boxed at CEX, but there's none listed as being in stock at CEX. It's a very rare game. I've seen copies of just the cart itself, I think, sell for £75, and the cheapest one of these, albeit complete, listed at the moment on eBay is £175. Buy it now. By no means am I going to try and tell you this is in fantastic condition, because it's not. It's got a pull tab missing, but it's not that bad, right? It's more than acceptable for me. Got this cover on it, it looks decent enough, and at the price I picked it up at, I think, what, the unboxed price, what was it, £45, is, yeah, it's nothing short of phenomenal. As I say, I didn't think I'd ever own this game because it's very expensive. So it's like, when was the right time to buy this game, right? At nearly £200, and then you've got to find it. And more so than any of that, it's the fact that I made it happen. I've spoken, I think, last week about how it's not just owning something, it's the way in which you get it that makes it mean more to you. And the way in which I got this, like, I made this happen, right? As much as it would have been nice to walk in and just find it as priced as unboxed, that would have been amazing. I'd have been delighted. But the fact that I was able to negotiate with CEX, which, you know, historically and theoretically, you can't negotiate with a company like that, right? You can't walk into JD Sports and haggle over a pair of trainers. You just can't do that. But I was able to, through communicating effectively and having conversations with the people that work there, I was able to get this for what? 48? I don't know. I'm not very good at maths, but what are we at? 30% maybe of the price? And I'm just delighted with it. Yeah, definitely my best CEX purchase of all time, and I'm so happy that I can add this to my collection, and it's just been a great day. I actually pulled this game out of my collection because I wanted to highlight the fact that I did make a video once upon a time saying this was my best ever CEX find, and to some extent I still stand by that, pound for pound, and that is the WWE 2K13 Stone Cold Edition. This was a very different find. This was just like on the shelf, and I only bought it for the sleeve cover, and it was like £3, and it comes with a signed Stone Cold like card inside, and I'm a big Stone Cold fan. He was my favourite wrestler growing up, and pound for pound, this is definitely the best find that I've had. But yeah, I mean, to find what is essentially a grail, right? At this point, most games that are very expensive on the Super Nintendo for me are grails, because that's where I'm at with my collection. And I want to give a massive shout out to the staff at Bulwell, both the manager and the young lady that worked there. Both very nice people. I really enjoyed talking to them. And if you're ever in the Nottingham area, go and check out that CEX, because there was a lot of nice games in there. And yeah, they helped to make my day a great day. This is a day that will live long in the memory for me. And yeah, this is, again, one of them times where I'm glad I've started doing these vlogs, because these are the sort of days that I want to be able to share with you guys, right? It's very much a solo pursuit of mine here in the real world, right? In the physical. So yeah, the fact that I can film this now on the vlogs and share it with you guys, yeah, it makes it that extra little bit special. So I appreciate everyone that's watched this far into the video. I don't know if there's going to be anything else to add to this vlog. I mean, where do we go from here, right? I think we've reached the climax, so to speak, with this being the money shot. So yeah. what I might do is leave you guys with the footage of me rearranging the SNES wall, because obviously we've got to get some of these games put into the SNES wall. And as always, I want to give a massive shout out to everyone that watches these vlogs and everyone that watches it to the end. Let me know in the comment section if you've had a better find in CEX than this, or equally what your best CEX find is. I love reading and hearing about catching CEX slipping and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go and rearrange my shelves now. I'll leave you guys without the footage, but play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.
That's